So he has thrown 7 touchdowns and for over 850 yards in 3 games this year. I will ask you, Lamar Jackson, is he going to change the way he plays, and should he change the way he plays?
I think in a perfect world, he would be able to develop into this pocket passer because maybe it prolongs his career. But let's not get confused. Lamar Jackson is not the prototypical dual threat quarterback that we think is always in a rush to run. If you watch his college film, he stayed in the pocket, went through his progressions. A lot of those big plays we remember from him in college were designed runs, and a lot of his big running plays in the NFL are designed runs. He is comfortable in the pocket, but I'm not sure he has the accuracy to become this type of pocket passer that he's saying that he kind of wants to be. And he's really good now in part because he always has the threat of running. If he gets to a point where he removes that threat, he's no longer Lamar Jackson.
The only thing I love here is it's like in basketball when you want to develop your offhand. If that's the case, Lamar, develop your offhand, develop your left hand, whatever the case may be. But you got it. He's so good, Greeny, because he can run as a linebacker, as a defender. I can't get as deep in my hook drop because I know if I get 15 yards away, I'm not tackling that man in the open field. Period.
I mean, your defense, you can't even play man coverage. Like,
yes,
you cannot play man coverage.
You can't turn your back to
somebody like that.
But listen to me, and Schefter, you tell me if you agree with this thought or not. We live in a world right now where quarterbacks can make $30 million a year in their late 30s if they're still playing effectively. But guys who run a lot and take all those kinds of hits aren't going to play that long.
This was the conversation we had 5 years ago with Cam Newton. And look where Cam Newton is today.
Right, probably
He's banged up
Yep.
and not the same quarterback. And Cam Newton talked about how he wanted to become more of a thrower and less of a runner. And he never really changed his game all that much. He took more blows than he should have. Lamar Jackson right now, I think, is being forward-thinking. But the strength of his game still is the fact that he can beat you with his arm or his legs. Yep. And you can't take that away from him. He just has to be smart about the way he does it.
There are a lot of quarterbacks who can beat you with their arms and their legs. Aaron Rodgers can do that. Russell Wilson can do that. They don't call designed runs for those guys all the time. That's what
they're not in the
Newton
same category, though.
I'm not saying they are, but what I'm saying is if you call designed runs for your quarterback as regularly as the Ravens are doing right now, that guy isn't going to be playing when he's 35 years old.
True. But what is your offense if you do not have those things in there? I think that it will be great to be this quarterback that everyone wants him, or that he may want to be, that can go deep into Tom Brady age, playing pocket passer. But I think at best, he's okay like that. Like this, he's great.
Elite. He's elite. And with this offensive system, he is elite right now. If he becomes a pocket passer, you got to change everything. And all 10 tight ends you have on your roster are now no.
You can't do it like that. You have to do it gradually over time.
Let's see if they do. In the meantime, his team is good, and they play Cleveland this Sunday, and the Ravens are ready. That bullseye that exists on the Browns, that's real, right? It's not just media stuff. It doesn't matter what I think or Rex Ryan thinks, but I think it does matter what the opponents think.
Man, it's real. And you have to remember just how some people love Baker Mayfield for his confidence. The opposing team hates that type of play. I mean, they want to smack you in the mouth. They want to take your will, and like Brandon Williams quoted, it was Tyson. Everybody got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. I think that's the Ravens' plan. Go out there and see what Baker's about. See what OBJ about and everybody else.
That's what that division is. And I think there is no worse place to have this kind of prima donna type of hype before accomplishment franchise than in that division, because that division is always about hitting people in the mouth, frankly. And that Ravens organization, they won the division last year, and all of a sudden everyone's crowning this other team.
For no reason, mind you.
I mean, for very little reason, because Baker Mayfield showed a little glimpse of some greatness last season.
Remember, all offseason, everybody was like, oh, the Ravens are going to, the Browns are going to win. The Browns are going to win. The Ravens are like, we got Super Bowls. The Steelers are like, we got Super Bowls, and y'all crowning the Browns? So I would be a little pissed off, too. I'm not going to lie. Like, if I'm playing, I'm a little frustrated because I'm like, that's what Earl Thomas is saying, and Earl don't even like interviews. He's like, what are we talking about, man? Like, what are we really talking about?
The Browns were one of the most overlooked teams out there, and there were doubts about what Lamar Jackson could or couldn't do.
The Ravens were, you mean, yes.
The Ravens were. The Ravens were. Nobody thought they could do this, and everybody thought this would be like the Cleveland Browns.
Yes.
And the Browns basically reverted to the Browns, and the Ravens have reverted to the Ravens, and everything is still the same.
We'll see. All I can turn around this weekend. I'm not ready to bury the Cleveland Browns yet. They have too many good names on the backs of their jerseys for it to continue to look this bad. But if they look bad this weekend, they put themselves in a deep hole in that division, could be in all kinds of trouble.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports and analysis, download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.